sometimes you overanalyse the actual games, but in training, the lads have been fantastic. Their attitude, application. In the summer, you know, right through the summer programme that we give them, you know, I was expecting 80% of the squad to come in during that period, and they have done. So they're in a good place, but to get all the players through, apart from Platty, you know, up to the levels we've got them to, and we're up at about 450 minutes now, game time for the players that have played most of the games. The Bolton game tonight will give the other lads probably just above 400 minutes. The Wigan game, sorry, at Bolton, Leyland. And yeah, so that'll give them about 400 minutes. So we're up there. You know, I wanted to be around about the 450, 500 minute mark, and we're there. So yeah, it's been a good pre-season, but I think managing them through such an intense programme with no injuries, we've made real gains to the squad, and you know, I'm delighted with the overall programme.
That's got to be your biggest plus, is injury free.
It's massive. You know, spoke to a few managers and coaches, and they've got injuries, and you know, you try and take lads up to a certain level, and if they can't reach it, it's difficult. And I think some of that's come from last season as well. You know, the players we brought in last season, we was able to work them to a certain intensity, and games being called off helped us, because we really did. You know, there were 4 or 5 days I remember on the bounce. We were almost giving them a pre-season, so they've made massive gains last season, carried it on through the summer, and we're ready to go. But that is a fit, dynamic squad. It really is, and probably one of the most fittest and most focused squads that I've certainly had the pleasure of working with.
Would it be fair to say Clive Platt now needs a pre-season?
No, because you know, you can't get that intensity. You know, you can't replicate what we've just done. You know, the sessions we've done in Tenerife are the most intense we've done, and I think obviously the cloud cover probably helped with that, because we got some, you know, massive hits over there. So I can't replicate that, but it'll be slowly with Clive, and you know, we'll get him some behind closed doors games where he can maybe do 45 minutes and then recover. But it's a balancing act now with Clive: recovery, games, training, load. If you overstress, you know, the injury side, then we're going to be back to square one. So we just got to take our time and guide Clive back and get him up to fitness. And sometimes games are a great way to get fit, and that's what we'll do with Clive. But we've got a specific programme coming out of this pre-season now to get Clive fit.
Calvin, the two who got 60-70 minutes on Saturday, no reaction?
No reaction, and Monday, Tuesday training, he's been phenomenal. You know, he's really kicked on, and he knows that, you know, the week in Tenerife was a big miss, but he's making up for it now. Wow, he's you know, it's the games, he's competition. That the guy just thrives and adrenalises off competition. It's quite incredible watching him in training. Born winner, born leader, and he is right up to where we want him to be.
Couple of new faces, 2 Joes, Joe Thompson, Joe Widdowson, both signed deals this week.
Yeah, you know, Joe Widdowson was quite an important one, because, you know, I believe that a left back is quite a specialist position. I think at right back sometimes you can get away with filling in for a few weeks. Certainly you can cover 4 or 5 games as the right back position. So we've never got any doubts of that. But I think left back is a specialised, and it also gives me the opportunity to move Huss up one, you know, in games. So it was something that we was really working on. It allows me now, as a left back core, I've almost got another left winger, you know, and I can play Huss up one, left midfield. So it's a fantastic signing. It's only a short-term deal. You know, I want Joe to really come here and really fight for that left back spot, and really fight for it. And that's what he's prepared to do. He's backing himself. Joe Widdowson's really backing himself with the contract he signed to come here and do well and get back on the football map. And I'm delighted with that signing, because it really does give us flexibility down that left-hand side now.
Joe Thompson signed the deal you talked about the other day.
Yeah, you know, he's earned it. You know, it was never going to be a sentimental contract. Joe knew that, and the chairman knew that. You know, there was no sentiment involved. This is us trying to, you know, compete in this league at the top end of the league, and there's no sentiment when it comes down to that. My medical team, there's a bit of unknown. You know, we're not too sure how long it's going to take for Joe to fully recover his body power and body strength. but we believe there's enough. There's certainly a fight in there to want to improve and want to get better and want to get stronger. And you know, I've no doubts that over the next 2 months, Joel will get to that point. But every day is tough for him. You know, this is a fit squad. It's a competitive squad, and you know, he is playing a lot of catch up. He's in front of where he needs to be, where the doctors have put him and the specialists have put him. But you know, he's fought for his life once, and now he's fighting for his football life. And Joe will come through it. I'm sure he will.
You've mentioned where he is physically. What about mentally? If he goes through something like that, it's going to affect you mentally, surely.
Yeah, you know, you've just fought for your life and beat cancer. You know, and I don't know what that's like, or I know what it probably took to do that. And you know, his body's took a whacking with the treatment that he's received. So physically, he's took one hell of a smash up. But you know, mentally, I want him to be in a place where he loves football and comes in every day and has the same aspirations that we've got this season and the same goals. And he has. But you know, if you meet Joe Thompson in and around the squad, he's a fantastic person. He is, and he warms the environment. He's infectious. He's enthusiastic towards football, and he's a thinker. So you know, we've signed a player that will get better as the season develops.
James Burke has left us this week. Was this mutual?
I think so. You know, I think that the changing of the guard, really, you know, Craig Jones in pre-season is something as a coaching staff, you know, we talked about it and putting him there, and he's going to get better and better. You know, I think as an attacking fullback, he'll be the best in the league by a country mile. So, you know, seeing him there and seeing his dynamic and athleticism, there's probably, and again, I've got players who can go into that position and fill in quite comfortably. So I think Berkey, when we watched him previously, he's played the 21s now. He's done the reserve games. You know, I was wanting him to bring him here last season and play games, and he didn't do that. So I think now, you know, Berkey's got to get out there and play games, and I couldn't offer him that game time. I really couldn't. You know, we looked at him in quite a few reserve games as sitting midfielder, but you know, I've got Kelvin Atu now. So I think the profile of player we've been able to bring to the football club since I signed Berkey has probably moved on. But he's a fantastic kid, and we wish him well. Thank him for what he's done for us last season, and hopefully, and you know, he'll start making games and play league football, because there is a league football player in there, and you know, I hope that he goes and realises that and makes games, because reserve football now, he's gone past that level.
A couple of days away from a new season, are you going to take any lessons from last season into the new one?
Not really, no. You know, that's done and dusted now. What we achieved last season from day one, really, I believe was a fantastic achievement by everyone at the football club. I really do. You know, people will forget. Of course, they'll forget, because that's life. People forget that we was in the mire at this place. There was a dark cloud over it. That's lifted. It's been removed, and you know, I see a club in the future. Just everything that we seem to talk about is exciting, and I want to be part of that new future. So, you know, I dwelled on it for a couple of hours, what we did last season, and then quickly moved on, because you know, I'm going to tell this group of players, you know, you move on, and you quickly got to get the past out of the way and start living in the future. So that's what this squad are doing. That's what my coaching staff are doing. We're going looking at new ways to do things, and move on from last season.
Final few sessions on the training ground, and is it all about Cheltenham now?
It's all about us. It really is. You know, the season will be about us. We put some detailed planning, of course you do, into what you're doing. You put that detailed planning, but it's about us. It's about how we react to games, how we attack teams, how we defend against teams, how we counteract what they're good at. But you know, we've got fantastic players at this football club, and like I said from day one, I've got technically gifted footballers with a cause that are fit, and that's a powerful combination. And I can't wait. I really genuinely can't wait. I went scouting Cheltenham last week, and you know, I was on the back of the next, because it's real. You know, you feel that reality coming in, and we're excited as a group to hit this campaign. And it doesn't matter who it is on Saturday. You know, we've concentrated all pre-season on us, and doing the right thing. And you know, I just can't wait to get started. This fine tuning as the week goes on, and like I said again, we've got a game tonight, which I can't wait to get over to. Games buzz you up, you know, as a manager coach, and you know, I want to see some strong performances tonight.
Cheltenham, then, what do you know? What do you expect?
We know a lot. You know, we've done our detailed work. Myself, Brassy and Futch went down last week against Bristol City. Been a few changes in formation, but you know, you look at the 13 players, you know, Yates has probably got, and that's what you're looking at in terms of the opposition. There'll be a team that mix it. You know, they certainly don't really have a style. There's not really a style that you can define. I think they've got players that can make decisions on a pitch and try and put them into practice. But again, you know, we have focused this week, morning, afternoon, on what we're good at and our strengths, and we've got some strengths in that football team.
Do you get more info from watching them rather than reading about them?
Live. I went to the Vitesse Arnhem and Bolton game on Sunday, and it blew me away. You know, I think if you study football like I do, I don't really watch it, I study it. If you study football, then you do get a lot out of it. Live games, you can't beat live games, so that's something I enjoyed doing. We've chopped some DVDs up. We've got the Kidderminster game, you know, that they played, and we've had a look at that. But you know, I've got two incredible coaches, you know, Brassy and Futch, who again, you know, see things with different eyes. So we've got some good eyes, some good intel, and you know, we put a lot of work into certainly finding out about the opposition. Fans
can play a massive part Saturday for the rest of the season. This is your chance. What can you say to them?
Well, it's not a chance. God, it's 46 games. You know, nobody expected Germany to beat Brazil. You know, they didn't. Such a high score. Nobody expected Spain to go out, but it's football. You know, we might get a wrong decision and something go against us on. So all the planning, preparation, it doesn't go out the window. We keep doing the right thing, and I believe we're on the right track. I think what's buzzed me up, you know, in Tenerife, you know, meeting some of the fans out there and seeing their passion. Sometimes them 40 fans tell you the story about Bury Football Club and tell you what people are prepared to do, you know, and two fans I met out there, and I spent time and shared time with them. You understand what this club means to them, but you don't get that time. You know, if I don't go out to Tenerife and meet them fans, you don't understand it sometimes. And we spent quite a few hours with them. And you know, you realise that you're lucky as a manager. You're lucky to represent, you know, the supporters that we've got and the diehards that we've got. And the away travel's as good as I've ever seen it. I still believe there's going to be education in the stand that we're going to do over this season, and in the media as well. I don't think that people have caught on to what the project actually is yet, and that's something that also we've got to get right, because you know, if the minority don't believe, we've got to make the minority believe. The majority do, but I think the minority that still doubters out there, but I suppose that's just negative people in life. We've got to change their views and change their mentality, because this is a project that's not going to go away. You've seen the ambition and drive from the chairman. I've seen him out in Tenerife engage with fans and the players have. So, you know, we want to be a part of the fans, and I think the togetherness that we're trying to bring to the football club is going to be key for the season.
Andy?
Just in this pre-season, how's it compared to other pre-seasons that you've been involved in?
It's been positive. It really has. You know, I've took the intensity up, but I think again from last season's work, the players have come back in a brilliant physical and mental state, so it really helps. You know, I've not had too many trialists in, which also helps. You know, they don't dilute the sessions. I've also had trialists in that have only lasted half an hour, and I've got them off the training ground. So this group of players won't just accept anyone. You know, they've got to be able to handle the ball. They've got to be able to handle the intensity of the way we work and the frequency of the way we work. But you know, it's been a pre-season that the players have been ridiculously committed and focused, and I've loved it. If I'm being really honest, it's gone to plan. The games have been good, and the attitude and application in games have been good, and I've had enough games, you know, to try and give everyone equal game time. So it's been good, but I've also had, you know, not so good pre-seasons and started off the season well. So I don't read too much into it, but I think the main thing is he's coming through it injury free.
You mentioned that you'd scouted Cheltenham. Who of all their players impressed you the most, would you say?
I like, the striker Byron. I think he's a player that on his day can be quite influential. Against Kidderminster, he wasn't, and he got dominated. But I've seen him have good days. But genuinely, I want to fixate ourselves on what we're good at, and at this stage of the week, concentrate on what Ryan Lone's good at, and Daniel Nardiello and Kelvin are too, because they're fantastic players.
When it came to that cup draw against Bolton, how do you think the fans reacted to that draw?
It was, for me, you get what you deserve, and there's been a lot of hard miles and hard work and some tough times at the football club, in the last few years with the relegation and the season after. So I think it's payback. I do think it's payback for them. There's a rivalry there, certainly, from when the two teams challenged in the same league, and it's quite a passionate rivalry. So I do believe in fate, and I do believe in karma, and the fans have certainly got what they deserve for the hard miles that they do, and the chairman has, because people do not see the work that guy's done in this stand and in the stadium and in and around people and the fans he's tried to win over. Now he's rescued the club, and we see it on a daily basis if you're in and around the club and involved in the club, and it's a good day for the chairman to go and show that we've got a professional football club that tries to exude excellence. And
is this year all about the league, or would a cup run be quite nice?
Winning games, the league, the season's about winning games. That's what I want to turn this group into. Winning fans over who's been let down in the past, and genuinely just have a winning mentality and a professional mentality. So, whether it's cup or whether it's the JTP or whether it's the Capital Cup, we want to compete, and that's what we'll do. As a manager, that's my remit, to win football matches, and that's what I want to do.
That's me.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've covered everything there. With regards to James Burke, what's actually happened to him? Is it just had his contract terminated, or what's actually happened?
Just mutually agreed to move James on, yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned about your cover for Craig Jones, if you need it during the season. Who would you highlight as sort of the main men that you would put in that position?
Sawsey can go there. I can change the system and put Sawsey as a wing back. I can bring another, Kelvin O'Toole can play there. Played there the last 7 games at Barnsley. Sedgy can fit in there, so we're completely covered off in that position, and then we've got 5 or 6 lads in each position that we've identified who can come in on a loan situation. We've made the calls, and you've got to be ready. You've got to be ready for that list of players, and that frees up. Over the next month, that starts freeing up. But you've got to have 5. If it's 21's players, we've got to have 5 left backs, 5 right backs, because you might only get one of them, or you will only get one of them. So it's really important that you cover yourself off, and we've done that.
Okay. And you personally, how do you feel going into the new season? Everything that's gone over in the past sort of 6-7 months, you must feel rejuvenated and really excited about everything.
I felt rejuvenated the day I walked in. The day I met the chair, I felt stimulated, and every member of staff that I bring to the football club feels the same. So just excited, but again, the West Brom game behind closed doors, that excites me. Football excites me, so we're going into the first game, but I'm not going to get carried away because it's the first game. We'll go about our business like it's the last game, and make sure we get all the detail right, the detail planning, so the players know in no certain terms what they've got to do when they kick off at 3 o'clock.
And you mentioned Joe Widdowson and Peter Sweeney actually before the weekend. You were still talking to those. Is Peter Sweeney, is that finished, or are you still ongoing? Yeah,
it's something we've been talking this week, and we've got to. I think the way Kelvin's played in the last couple of games and the way he's trained. We've got Sedgy in there. We've got Tutty in there. Sawsey as a set midfielder has done fantastic. It's given me Tutty being injured for them 2 games has given me a great insight into what Sawsey can do in there. His partnership with Kelvin looks a rich one. So we've got cover, and it's probably not a priority position. Peter Sweeney come to Tenerife and was fantastic. His attitude, his application, and he fought every session, and it was a tough week. So, but I think there's 2 or 3 different positions that we need covering off, and we've got to make sure that when them players come up, we're in the hunt for them, and certainly in the game, because we know we've identified what we need, and at the minute that might just be a bit of overkill in that area of the pitch.
I mean, you mentioned obviously the attackers. You've got 2 fantastic attackers, and you've got Clive as well, who's still waiting to come back. So I guess is that like the main priority going into the season?
Not really. I've got Sawsey who plays shadow striker. I've got Nick Adams who can play striker, who was fantastic against Blackburn when we brought Nards off. So we've got a very flexible team, without a shadow of a doubt, which can play different systems. And there's no rush to do anything. There's a calmness about what we do. There's certainly a plan to what we do, and there'll be no panic. Depending on what happens Saturday, there'll be no panic round here, because we've got a plan that we've been building now, and mad people come off the plan. Sane people stay on a plan because they believe it's the right thing to do.
Okay, right. Cheers, Dave.